Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this. I'm gonna try to keep meetings minimal, like we'll do one a month or something like that. If there's anything else that's really important, then we can do that through alerts or surveys or whatever, Google Docs, stuff like that. But I do think it's important at least once a month that we try to get together, and I am gonna do audio video recordings of this so that if hold on one second. Okay. Sorry, I got a PM. But I am going to do recording. So if there's ever like a month that you're not able to participate, like you can watch it after. It's just good if you can come just so that you can share your ideas or opinions at the end. So the way this is going to work is I'll always have like a little like itinerary kind of thing, just kind of flow through, and I'm going to try to keep all the meetings to like 30 minutes. Try to keep it under that. So um, for the first meeting, I really just wanted to get us all on the same page and kind of share my vision. Some of you have already gotten this if you joined in the past few days, but there is some extra tidbits. But it's just important that we're on the same page moving forward. So to start off, the community introduction, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. You can talk to me individually, like when we're playing the game or whatever, and I can share like our past. But we started in a game called Albion Online. We played that game for 3 years off and on, and then we started a guild for launch, and that's kind of where we started as a community. The community is ran by three directors: me, Rompe, and Trinial, which is in purple on the right. And you can come to talk to us about anything that you need, anything that's major. We vote on as a council and majority rules, but I'm also leading uh, WoW. So just a little bit about me though is I just started this game in Legion, so I'm very new to WoW compared to some of you. So look at me more of like a friend and an administrator, just trying to keep things together and rolling forward. Not that I know everything, because a lot of you probably know way more about WoW than I do, and that's fine. We also have an internal affairs group, so with that, you can contact them if you have any major concerns or issues with individuals or how things are being ran, and you either A, don't feel comfortable talking about it to somebody, and B, if you just um, feel like that resolution's not getting to where you need it to be. So you can go to them. They are completely neutral. They will handle your ticket. They have a ticket system you can submit it through, and they will get to the bottom of it. It takes a little bit of time. Sometimes if there's drama or things like that, things don't move as quickly as people want them to, and that upsets them. But the process there is there to protect everyone and to make sure that due process is followed and everybody has the benefit of the doubt, so that if we do kick someone or punish them, it's because it was the right thing to do and not because of a knee-jerk reaction. Also, I forgot to start off, but I'm having issues with my headset, so if anytime I cut out, just someone type in guild chat and let me know. And let's see. So we are currently kind of changing the Discord and making it a little bit more efficient, cleaner, things like that. A lot of the changes have already been made, but you might notice from time to time just some extra housekeeping and things like that. If you have questions or you have ideas of how we can improve the Discord, let us know. So the vision for the community, we kind of have this unofficial acronym that we're still working on, but right now it's set at gold. But the first one is, this is just the community as a whole, okay? So not just WoW. Is first is G for growth and development. We want people to feel like they have a place to call home regardless of what game they play, and we want to grow the community in both size and quality. O is for objectivity. We promise to remain objective, upholding integrity, and recognizing people based on merit, which is very important to us. This is a very merit-based, um, as objective as possible group of people. So if you want something, work for it. You're not going to get your hand held. And if you don't get invited to something or you don't get special perks or certain things that people are doing, it's probably because you haven't put in the effort, not because we don't like you. Um, Leadership, it's important that we're building leaders, and it's not just meaning officers, okay? Like, you can be a leader and be a regular member, but just taking that initiative to put in the hard work to make this place better for everyone. And so we always try to inspire that. And then devotion, we are devoted not only to ourselves, but a larger purpose. Something that we're going to be starting soon as a community, which hasn't started yet, is periodically we're going to do fundraisers and streamathons and different things like that that try to raise awareness and funds for charity. So If this is something that's interesting to you and you'd like to be on the ground floor of it, you can reach out to me later. It's not really set in stone at this moment, and it's probably something we're going to do after the holidays because people are usually already tied up with that kind of stuff. I'd like to do some more charity stuff in the off seasons when charity is not as popular, because a lot of people give money and things during Christmas and Thanksgiving, but then the rest of the year they're kind of shit out of luck. So there's that coming. It's 100% optional too. You don't have to give for it. So let's start with World of Warcraft kind of things. And at the end of everything, there'll be room for like question and answer. So if you need, jot down your question, that's fine, and then you can ask me at the end. So for World of Warcraft, this is how meetings are going to go. I'm not going to do the community introduction anymore. We're going to start off with guild spotlights and promotions, which is a time that if you want to recognize anybody in the guild or a group of people in the guild for doing anything outstanding, in-game or out-of-game, you can do that at that time. You just need to let me know before the next meeting takes place, and I will give you guys the floor, the ability to do that. I think it's an important thing. I'm doing my internship right now at a hospital, and we had a leadership meeting the other day, and it was my first time doing that at the hospital. It's a very small hospital with a very tight group of people, and they spent their first few minutes doing that, and it sounds kind of tacky at first, but it's really, really cool, and it's just a really good morale boost for everyone, and you just feel more like a family, and I think that's a good thing to do. So whether you like it or not, we're going to do it, but I think everybody will grow to it as time goes on. Guild announcements will follow up after that. We don't have any today except for my meeting, but if you are a department leader, which I'll talk about in a little bit, or you have something like an event that you want to host that you've cleared by me already, if there's just something big that you want to announce to the guild as a whole, run it by me first, but I will give you the floor to talk at the beginning of a meeting and kind of get all that out of the way. All right, so let's move on to what I want to cover today for the meeting, and we'll be done pretty soon. So first thing is guild identity. It's important that any group of people have a common goal and a common purpose, and you not only set goals, but you set objectives and how to achieve them. So my really corny phrase for guild identity for WoW is IBG, which is Iron Bank Gaming, is in WoW is like a fine wine, the perfect blend of play styles that matures with age and will keep you coming back for more. Drink enough of it, and you will have an unforgettable social experience. That's my creative way of tying in the fact that we are going to be a collection of different styles of gamers. We are going to be a collection of people who want to be hardcore, go into mythics, people who are friends and family that have busy lives that can't afford that time, new players, experienced players, and at the same time we want to create a social experience so that you actually enjoy logging in on a daily basis, even between expansion of content. Now, typically, when you hear those things, it sounds great, but then you end up in guilds where there's a lot of friction. The elitist players don't want to be held back, and they don't want to have to carry. They get annoyed at casuals, and then casuals get annoyed at elitist people because they're assholes and so forth. The way that we're addressing that is how we are going to structure the guild within, and I'll get into that in just a second. So our mission statement is to improve the WoW experience, elevate skill, and advance progression for all. Okay, we're going to be focused on PvE right now, but down the road we can even look at PvP as an option. And the vision is going to be the first and best choice for a community experience. That doesn't mean the best number one guild and WoW like method. It means that, at least for Thrall, we want to be the place that everyone comes for a good social community experience where they can find people to group with, they can learn from each other, they can meet their goals, whatever it is, and find like-minded individuals. So for long-term goals, the way that this is going to be set up is we will have social and raider ranks along with officer ranks, okay? So people can come in as an officer and, or sorry, as a social member, and they can, hold on, people are typing. Okay, sorry. All right, long-term goals, let's see. I'm just going to recap because I'm not sure exactly where that was, but the mission and the vision statements are there. And can you guys give me like a little bit more of a specific part where I cut out?
Just start over again, dude.
Okay. All right, so it was just the mission and the vision, which is written there to improve the WoW experience, elevate skill and progression, and then the first and best choice for community experience. So we want people to feel like they have a home that they can grow with and um, like-minded individuals, and they can meet whatever goals it is that they have set. So this is not about being the next method. Okay, that's not what we're trying to be. It's a unique experience that not everybody's going to want, but we want to be the best on Thrall for that community social experience, especially for new players, but even for veterans that enjoy the atmosphere. So um, for the long-term goals, the way that I expect the guild to be set up is we'll have social and raider ranks, okay, along with officer, and the way that'll work is social members can be friends and family, new people in the guild. They're not tied to a specific raid team, but they can learn, they can do mythics, they can fill in for raids, they can have raid teams outside the guild or whatever. If you are on a specific raid team for our guild, then we'll tag you up as such. And then ultimately, I'd like to have multiple raid teams. This is long-term goals, guys. So I don't expect this to happen anytime soon, but it would be nice if we had raid teams for different time schedules, different focuses. Some people might be interested in mythics. Some people might be interested in something more casual. Okay, the goal is to have a variety with different raid team leaders, and you can find something that fits your niche. And then also, I'd like it to ultimately get to a point where we have daily guild events. So hopefully every day you log in, there's something going on. Whether it's an organized like Mythic run, whether it's a fun run, whether it's something creative that the community was going to do, but something to look forward to on a daily basis. So this leads me into patron status. So patron status is something I'm going to. The patron
You
status is
cut out
something.
again.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me do this. I keep checking to make sure, but all right. So patron status is set up like this. It's completely 100% optional. So if you don't like any of this, you don't have to participate, and that's perfectly fine. You're not going to get scolded. You're not going to get any major benefits for doing it. It's completely community based, and I honestly expect zero of you to be signing up for this right away. Okay, give it time. If you enjoy the guild and it's growing and it's turning into something you like and you feel that it's worth your donation, then
What?
go for it. What is it, Zen? She might have just meant to talk to someone else. Okay, so the way that the patron status is going to work is there will be a patron page, which I've already started on. I will share that link later.
What's this?
Zen, are you trying to talk to me? I'm going to mute. Okay, so the way the patron status works is you'll sign up for a pledge of your preference. I have like $1 pledges, and I have more than that, but you can even start off at $1, and it'll just come out once a month. And 100% of those proceeds will do one thing and one thing only. They will be pulled together. You guys will be able to see it in a transparent budget expense report, okay? And those funds will specifically be used to provide incentives and rewards for in-game events and contests that the guild runs. That's it. And we will have a committee set up for that. So the more that people contribute, the more interesting things that we can give as rewards and more incentives that we can create. The less that people contribute, we'll just have to downscale it, and that's perfectly fine. It's really just it's a system that's there for you guys to make what you want of it. If it's not popular, that's fine. We just won't have as many rewards. If it's popular, then we can do some really cool things with that. So I will leave you up to that on your own judgment, on your own terms, and I will share the link for the signups for that later when it's approved by Patreon. You will receive a Patreon Discord tag, but who really cares about that? I'm just letting you know that you'll get one. Okay, so guild ranks. The way that I'm going to set it up currently is you have a guild master, right? And then everybody else is kind of under that. So I will be looking for someone to help me with recruitment. So if there's anybody that wants to help with recruitment, please message me at a different time, not right now. And just let me know that you're interested in kind of interviewing people that come through, getting them set up, helping them get their bearings in the guild, if that's something that you enjoy doing. I would like an event coordinator. So if any of you guys are very interested in that and you want to be the person that pulls together with people and finds all these cool events and you have a lot of creativity, let me know. Team leads will be reserved for team leaders for raids. So every raid team will be a team. And so when we get to a point that we start creating a raid team, there will be somebody elected to be the team leader, the administrator of that raid team. They're the one that will communicate with me, also make sure that their needs are met and their voices are heard. The raid team leader does not necessarily mean the raid leader in the actual operation, okay? If you're the shot caller in the raid lead, that's perfectly fine. You can also double as the team lead, or you can find somebody else who wants to handle that administrative role, but I need every team to have a raid team lead. We'll have a logistics coordinator, which is, as this is not going to happen now, but later down the road, we'll have a logistics coordinator to handle the events, make sure I'd like to create a system so that raid teams and stuff have the consumables and things that they need set up, and we can use the guild bank and stuff for that, and we can look into that more later. That is not a role that's going to be set up soon by any means, but I just want you to know that I have considered that once we get larger and once we do these things that we might need someone to handle the logistics to, make sure people are set up for success, make sure our teams have what they need, and maybe handle like repair bills and things of that nature. But we'll cross that bridge and talk about it as a guild and see what the best approach to that is and whether it's a well-liked thing or not. This guild, just because I'm running it doesn't mean that I'm not going to listen to you guys, especially for the fact that I'm inexperienced in WoW. So if there's ever something that you think is too convoluted or not simple enough or something that we're overlooking that we should add, just come talk to me and we will address that, okay? And finally, with the guild ranks, you'll have your raider and your social rank that I talked about before, and recruit status. So all of you will be able to recruit for the time being, and that is my way of being able to see that someone needs processed. Okay? So I don't know if you guys care about this or not. If nobody cares about it, we don't have to do it. But if you guys wanted to RP a little bit in the future and have like a guild meeting spot that we always meet up at, we can. Wraith mentioned Pleasured Palace as a cool idea, but he also doesn't care about meeting at a certain place. So if you guys have an idea of that later, just come talk to me in your free time, and we'll cover it again next meeting to see what kind of interest there is. So at the end of each meeting, I'm going to have like a monthly goals thing set up. Basically, what we're really prioritizing and working on in this next 4 weeks before our next meeting. Okay, this is not everything, and we may not meet everything, and we may surpass what goals we set, but I think these are pretty reasonable. So we're going to continue recruitment. The one thing that I can't stress enough is as we get bigger, I really need you guys to help me with this. All you have to do is find a friend, find a family member, or when you're in a group and you see a pug, it doesn't matter if they are on Thrall or not, as long as they're guildless. If you just want to send them something, a nice message explaining what we're about, and if they say that they're interested, you can go ahead and invite them to the guild. That's all you have to do. You can also, if they're on a different server, you can get them to Discord. There is a channel in the World of Warcraft section called Recruitment. All I'm asking is that when you invite somebody, you don't even have to vet them. You don't have to interview them. You don't have to do any of that. Just talk to them. If they seem cool and interested, invite them to the Discord or guild, and then post in Recruitment saying, hey, Sharka, I invited so-and-so. This is their contact information. Or, hey, Sharka, I invited this person's alt, and their name is blank. And that way I can follow up with the recruiter that I have to help me in the future, and we can make sure these people are processed. Once I process them in the guild, I will tag them up, and I will promote them to a social member or a raider member or wherever they need to be. I'd like people to work on socialization and grouping. We are at a point now that we have plenty of people to be running Mythic Plus. I don't know what everyone's level is at yet, but if you are 120 and you want to start running Mythic Plus, start asking in guild to see if people want to do something. If you're not 120 yet, please focus on hitting that on your main. And as a main, I'm specifying it as something that a class that you enjoy at least 2 of the specs in, so that there's some flexibility. We will try to accommodate everyone for rating, but it doesn't always work out balance-wise to have everybody playing exactly what they want to do. So play a class you enjoy, but be willing to be a little bit flexible in the spec that you play. And then we will start over the next few weeks. as we start to get more active, as we start doing some mythics, we can start looking at planning for our first raid team formation. And I'll send out a survey at some point. It'll collect availability data from everyone, and just some analytics that we need to figure out how we're going to put that group together. That and then those who aren't a part of that first group, we will continue to try to grow and build a second raid team and a third raid team. So that pretty much concludes everything that I was going to say for this meeting, just to get us on the same page. I just want to open it up for a few minutes. If anybody has any questions or concerns or confusion on anything, and if not, then I'll close the meeting. But did anybody have any questions or anything they would like to share? Okay. All right. Well, so that will conclude the meeting. If you need to talk to me, just message me at any time. This meeting will be posted for those who weren't able to attend it, and they will be able to get caught up to speed. To this meeting, I just really wanted to cover just the general basics, the culture of it, and then for future meetings will be a little bit more specific to what we're doing in game. But thank you for your time, and I'm glad you guys are all here, and enjoy.
All right, thanks, Sharka.